The Wisconsin Department of Health Services has announced its plan to invest $31 million in opioid settlement funds over the next 2 years. Wisconsin saw a 42.5% decline in opioid overdose deaths from 2023 to 2024, dropping from 1,422 to 817. But the department says its work is far from over and that the progress shows the multi-year approach is working.
We know that having these conversations and talking about what works, harm reduction strategies work, overdose prevention and infectious disease play a pivotal role in the decline of the overdose deaths that we are seeing.
Manitowoc and Outagamie counties have the highest number of opioid-related deaths in our area. Brown, Outagamie, Winnebago, and Fond du Lac counties see the highest number of hospitalizations.